Over 60? Eat these 3 cheeses to rebuild muscle and fight sarcopenia. For too long, a pervasive misconception has cast a shadow over one of nature's most ancient and versatile foods, cheese. You've likely been told that cheese is inherently bad, a dietary villain synonymous with weight gain, cardiovascular risk, and even a heart attack on a plate. This long-standing narrative has led countless individuals, especially those navigating the complexities of aging, to meticulously avoid it, inadvertently depriving themselves of a potent and surprisingly accessible ally. But what if this widely accepted wisdom were not only incomplete, but fundamentally misleading, particularly concerning the critical challenge of muscle loss after the age of 60? What if the very food you've been advised to shun could, in fact, be the missing weapon in your arsenal against sarcopenia, the debilitating age-related decline in muscle mass and strength? The shocking truth, one that remains largely unknown to an astonishing 99% of seniors, is that 3 specific readily available cheeses possess extraordinary properties that can actively rebuild lost muscle tissue, often faster and more effectively than many conventional supplements currently saturating the market. This revelation might seem incredible, even paradoxical, given the prevailing dietary advice. Yet, the scientific evidence is compelling, highlighting how these dairy powerhouses go beyond mere nutritional sustenance to actively trigger regenerative processes within the body. In fact, a significant 2023 study unveiled a truly remarkable finding. Just one of these extraordinary cheeses demonstrated the capacity to boost leg strength by an impressive 28% in a mere 90 days. This level of physiological improvement, particularly in an older demographic without intensive exercise intervention, is almost unprecedented in nutritional science, begging the question of why such profound insights remain largely undiscussed in mainstream health conversations. The answer, regrettably, often lies in the commercial interests of powerful supplement companies. These corporations thrive on the sale of powders, pills, and proprietary blends, and they have little incentive to promote the notion that a simple, natural food found in almost every refrigerator could not only rival, but potentially outperform their meticulously marketed products. The financial implications are immense, making it a strategic imperative for them to maintain the mystique surrounding their offerings while downplaying the efficacy of whole foods. Furthermore, what these industries often fail to emphasize, or perhaps deliberately obscure, is that the muscle-building prowess of these cheeses extends far beyond their high protein content. While protein is undoubtedly crucial, these particular varieties are rich in highly specific bioactive compounds, intricate molecular structures that directly interact with the body's physiological machinery at a fundamental cellular level. These compounds don't just provide building blocks, they actively trigger complex pathways involved in muscle regeneration and repair, optimizing the body's innate capacity for tissue renewal. Throughout this insightful exploration, we will meticulously reveal the top 3 cheeses that possess this remarkable ability to rebuild muscle naturally, ranking them not just by their general nutritional value, but specifically by their impact and overall importance in combating age-related muscle decline. Prepare to discover the profound benefits that await, as the number 1 cheese on our list holds the potential to reverse muscle loss by an astounding 35%, offering a pathway to renewed strength and vitality without ever stepping foot inside a gym. Before we embark on this illuminating journey, allow me to pose 2 critical questions that resonate with the experiences of many navigating the aging process. Firstly, despite your diligent efforts to consume what you believe is an adequate amount of protein, have you undeniably noticed a persistent and concerning decline in your overall physical strength, making once easy tasks feel increasingly strenuous? And secondly, do you find yourself grappling with the mundane challenges of everyday life, such as the surprising difficulty of opening a tightly sealed jar, or the growing apprehension associated with climbing a flight of stairs, indicating a subtle yet significant erosion of your functional independence? We encourage you to share your reflections and experiences in the comments section below, as we are committed to reading every single contribution and replying with tailored insights and practical tips designed specifically to address your unique situation and empower your journey toward renewed vigor. Now, without any further delay, let us peel back the layers of misconception and delve into the fascinating world of these muscle rebuilding cheeses, beginning with the first remarkable entry on our meticulously curated list. The journey to reclaiming lost strength often begins with what appears to be a small, unassuming change. Yet for seniors struggling with foundational tasks like carrying groceries independently or rising from a seated position without assistance, this initial step can be profoundly transformative. Our first contender, securing the number 3 position, is Parmesan cheese. That iconic, hard, aged Italian cheese, renowned for its distinctively sharp, nutty, and salty flavor profile. At a superficial glance, Parmesan might often be relegated to a mere culinary embellishment. A delicate sprinkle over a steaming plate of pasta, a crispy crust atop a bubbling lasagna, or a flavorful garnish for soups. However, beneath its formidable, crystalline shell lies a nutritional secret weapon, one of the highest natural concentrations of leucine. Leucine is not just any amino acid. It functions as a critical muscle switch, specifically attuned to the unique physiological landscape of older adults. When the body's leucine levels are sufficiently elevated, it effectively signals to the cellular machinery to initiate and accelerate the muscle-building process, a phenomenon particularly invaluable as natural anabolic hormones like testosterone and growth hormone gradually decline with age. This makes Parmesan an extraordinarily valuable dietary component for seniors who frequently require a significantly higher intake of both total protein and, crucially, leucine, simply to maintain the muscle mass that younger bodies build and sustain with relative ease. A compelling study published in the prestigious Journal of Clinical Nutrition in 2021 meticulously investigated a cohort of older adults who adopted a diet notably rich in leucine, primarily sourced from aged dairy products such as Parmesan. The revelations were nothing short of astonishing. Participants who consistently consumed just 5 grams of leucine daily, an amount roughly equivalent to 50 grams of Parmesan cheese, exhibited a remarkable 38% increase in muscle protein synthesis compared to a control group consuming a standard protein diet. This isn't merely a statistically significant improvement. It represents a profound real-world difference between a precarious state of frailty and the empowering embrace of functional strength, between the vulnerability of recurrent falls and the confidence of walking with unwavering steadiness. What further elevates Parmesan's status as a senior-friendly food is its exceptional digestibility. Due to its extensive aging process, which typically spans 12 to 36 months, Parmesan contains negligible amounts of lactose, the sugar notorious for triggering digestive discomfort and issues in a significant portion of the senior population. This intrinsic characteristic means that even individuals with mild to moderate lactose intolerance can enjoy its benefits without experiencing adverse gastrointestinal effects. Furthermore, its dense, firm texture makes it incredibly versatile and easy to incorporate. It can be effortlessly grated over virtually any meal or delicately shaved into vibrant salads and hearty soups, obviating the need to consume a substantial block of cheese, which might be daunting for some. To maximize the muscle rebuilding benefits of Parmesan, a precise approach to consumption is key. Aim for an intake of 30 to 40 grams daily, which translates to approximately 1 to 1.5 ounces. Crucially, the timing of this intake is as important as the quantity. Endeavor to consume roughly half of this amount within 30 minutes following any morning activity or light exercise, even if it's as simple as a brisk walk around the block. During this post-activity window, your muscles are in a heightened state of receptivity, primed for optimal protein synthesis. The remaining half should be consumed with your evening meal, strategically supporting overnight muscle recovery and repair processes. For practical, Integration into your daily routine, consider adding 2 generous tablespoons of freshly grated Parmesan to a savory omelet, a nourishing bowl of lentils, or a comforting warm vegetable soup, which should be sufficient to meet your leucine target for that particular meal. It is advisable to avoid pairing Parmesan with heavy cream sauces or excessively greasy dishes, as these can impede optimal digestion and diminish the efficiency of protein absorption. Now, an essential caveat: you must internalize. Not all Parmesan is created equal. The true, profound benefits derive exclusively from Parmigiano Reggiano, the original, authentic Italian version, which is meticulously aged naturally without the inclusion of artificial additives or shortcuts. Beware of pre-shredded supermarket varieties, which frequently contain undesirable fillers such as cellulose, a wood pulp derivative that, while generally safe, can unfortunately interfere with the body's delicate digestive processes and hinder the efficient absorption of vital nutrients. Always scrutinize the label for the distinguished Parmigiano Reggiano designation and look for visible aging crystals, those tiny, white, crunchy dots that serve as an unmistakable hallmark of high protein concentration and proper maturation. One final but important caution pertains to Parmesan's inherent saltiness. For seniors meticulously managing blood pressure, it is prudent to keep your daily intake below 50 grams and to refrain from combining it with other sodium-rich processed meats like salami or bacon. While healthy kidneys are generally adept at processing a reasonable sodium load, excessive salt accumulation from multiple dietary sources can undeniably place an undue strain on aging renal systems. Consider the inspiring transformation of Margaret, a 67-year-old retired teacher residing in Ohio. Margaret sought guidance because the simple act of carrying her groceries had become an insurmountable struggle, and she had suffered 2 falls within a mere 3-month period. Her recent DEXA scans revealed a concerning 15% decline in muscle mass over the preceding 5 years. We introduced her to a targeted Parmesan protocol, synergistically combined with a regimen of basic resistance exercises. Initially, Margaret harbored considerable skepticism, primarily fearing that incorporating cheese would inevitably lead to unwelcome weight gain. However, after a dedicated 12-week period, her results were nothing short of miraculous. She had not only regained an impressive 7% of her lost muscle mass, but had also shed 2 inches from her waistline. Today, Margaret exudes renewed vitality, actively teaching yoga at her community center, and, most importantly, she has not experienced a single fall in over a year. Her remarkable success underscores the critical importance of both consistency in adhering to the protocol and the meticulous, proper timing of her Parmesan intake, demonstrating how a seemingly minor dietary adjustment can catalyze profound improvements in quality of life. Having witnessed how Parmesan can transform a mere sprinkle into palpable strength, let us now shift our focus to a cheese that operates at an even deeper cellular level, unlocking not just enhanced physical power, but also remarkable endurance. Taking the number 2 spot on our list is cottage cheese. That soft, often mild, characteristically lumpy white cheese typically found nestled in plastic tubs within the dairy aisle. Regrettably, many seniors tend to overlook this unassuming dairy product, frequently dismissing it as bland diet food or simply unappealing. However, the unequivocal voice of scientific research presents a decidedly different narrative. Cottage cheese stands out as one of the most exceptionally powerful, muscle-preserving foods available for adults over the age of 60, largely owing to its rich concentration of casein protein. Casein is unique among proteins as it is the slowest digesting protein found in nature, a property that grants it extraordinary advantages. This particular type of protein doesn't merely contribute to the building of new muscle tissue. Rather, it methodically and steadily feeds your muscles a continuous stream of amino acids for several hours, a benefit that is particularly potent when consumed just before bedtime. And therein lies its most profound secret. As individuals progress beyond the age of 60, the body begins to encounter a physiological phenomenon known as anabolic resistance. This condition signifies a diminished efficiency in converting ingested protein into new muscle tissue. meaning that eating a serving of chicken or steak during the day, while still beneficial, might not yield the same robust muscle gains that were effortlessly achieved in one's younger decades. However, by strategically consuming casein-rich foods like cottage cheese prior to sleep, you initiate a slow-release mechanism where amino acids are gradually delivered into your bloodstream throughout the entire night, effectively bypassing and counteracting this age-related anabolic resistance. A groundbreaking 2022 study, meticulously published in the journal Nutrients, tracked a cohort of 42 older men, all aged between 65 and 75. Half of the participants were administered 30 grams of casein-rich cottage cheese approximately 30 minutes before bedtime, while the other half abstained from any nighttime food intake. After a dedicated 12-week period, the group consistently consuming cottage cheese before bed experienced an impressive gain of 1.2 kilograms, over 2.5 pounds, of lean muscle mass, notably without any concurrent alterations to their existing workout routines. This significant finding underscores the profound impact of this simple dietary intervention. The reason this nighttime strategy holds such immense importance is rooted in the body's natural physiological rhythms. Night is precisely when muscle breakdown processes are most active. As you sleep, your body enters a fasted state, and in order to sustain vital organ functions, it initiates a process of pulling necessary nutrients, including amino acids, directly from your muscle tissue. For older adults, this nightly catabolic activity can regrettably translate into a continuous, subtle erosion of precious muscle mass. However, the slow-digesting casein in cottage cheese acts much like a carefully regulated intravenous drip, delivering a steady, uninterrupted stream of essential amino acids throughout your sleep cycle, thereby powerfully preventing this nocturnal muscle breakdown. Moreover, it's not just any collection of amino acids. Cottage cheese boasts a complete profile containing all 9 essential amino acids in proportions that are perfectly optimized for efficient muscle repair and growth. It is also notably rich in glutamine, another critical amino acid that plays a vital role in combating inflammation within muscle tissue, particularly after even light exercise or minor strain. For optimal muscle-building efficacy, the best time to consume cottage cheese is unequivocally just before bed. The ideal quantity typically ranges between 150 to 200 grams, which equates to approximately 1 cup. When making your selection, opt for full fat or 2% fat versions, as the fat content contributes to an even slower digestion rate and helps promote a feeling of sustained fullness throughout the night, deterring any potential nighttime hunger pangs. If you're concerned about its inherently mild taste, consider enhancing its flavor profile by mixing it with a sprinkle of warming cinnamon and a few fresh berries, or even a modest teaspoon of natural honey for a touch of sweetness. However, it is crucial to avoid combining it with sugary granolas or highly processed jams, which can unfortunately lead to unwanted spikes in blood sugar, potentially interfering with the quality and restorative depth of your sleep. For individuals with pronounced lactose sensitivity, readily available lactose-free cottage cheese varieties offer an equally effective alternative without compromising on the protein benefits. Now, let's address some common pitfalls. One of the most significant errors seniors frequently make is inadvertently purchasing low-protein or whipped cottage cheese versions. These varieties often contain less than 10 grams of protein per serving, an insufficient amount to adequately trigger the anabolic muscle-building response. Always make it a habit to carefully check the nutritional label, ensuring that your chosen brand provides at least 13 to 15 grams of protein per 100 grams of product. Another pervasive mistake is consuming cottage cheese in the morning rather than reserving it for nighttime. While morning protein intake is undoubtedly beneficial for overall health, it is the unique overnight drip effect of casein that truly bestows upon it its unparalleled muscle-preserving and building power. One important consideration, however, is its sodium content. Some brands of cottage cheese can contain upwards of 400 milligrams of salt per serving. It is always advisable to select low-sodium versions, especially if you are managing blood pressure issues or prone to water retention. You will still reap the same significant protein benefits without placing undue stress on your kidneys. And a strict rule: never heat cottage cheese. Cooking it irrevocably alters and destroys the delicate structure of casein, transforming it into a rubbery, unappetizing mess that digests far too quickly, thereby completely defeating the purpose of its slow-release mechanism. Let me now share the compelling narrative of Patricia, a 67-year-old retired school teacher residing in Florida. Patricia approached us with profound complaints. Her legs perpetually felt heavy. She required assistance to simply get out of bed each morning, and she confessed to not having slept more than 5 hours in many months. Following a thorough review of her laboratory results, we identified mild sarcopenia and clear indicators of protein malnutrition. Her daily protein intake hovered at a meager 35 grams, primarily sourced from eggs and lentils, and her muscle loss had begun to significantly compromise her balance. Our recommendation was remarkably simple: adding a full cup of cottage cheese to her diet each night before bed, with no other changes, no altered exercise regimen, no additional supplements. After a mere 8 weeks, subsequent muscle scans revealed a striking 14% increase in her quadriceps mass, and Patricia joyfully reported feeling noticeably more rested and undeniably stronger in the mornings. The most surprising and delightful outcome, however, was her unequivocal assertion that her sleep quality had dramatically improved. This unexpected benefit stems from the slow digestion of casein, which also plays a crucial role in regulating insulin levels, thereby stabilizing blood sugar throughout the night and effectively reducing those disruptive nighttime awakenings. As we reach the apex of our list, we introduce the final cheese, a rare, potent, and scientifically acclaimed powerhouse that has been demonstrably shown to increase muscle mass, strength, and even overall mobility to a degree that surpasses the combined impact of the previous two. This is truly the ultimate anti-sarcopenia weapon, rightfully claiming the #1 spot: ricotta cheese. Ricotta, often recognized as that soft, creamy white cheese, frequently showcased in classic Italian culinary masterpieces like lasagna and stuffed shells, may present an innocent and delicate appearance. However, nestled within its inviting texture lies one of nature's most complete and absorbable proteins, whey protein. Unlike most other cheeses, which are primarily solid curds, ricotta is uniquely crafted from the leftover whey liquid, the translucent, nutrient-rich byproduct that remains after the production of traditional cheeses such as mozzarella or provolone. This waste product is, in fact, a treasure trove, brimming with fast-digesting proteins, exceptionally high levels of branched-chain amino acids, BCAAs, and a rare, highly beneficial compound known as lactoferrin. Lactoferrin is a bioactive peptide with remarkable properties, actively working to protect delicate muscle fibers from the insidious damage wrought by inflammation and oxidative stress. What this sophisticated scientific explanation translates to, in practical, simple terms, is that ricotta doesn't merely facilitate muscle growth, it actively shields and fortifies existing muscle tissue, providing a dual layer of protection critical for the aging body. Most seniors, unfortunately, are unaware that muscle atrophy, the progressive shrinking and weakening of muscle fibers due to factors like inactivity or the inexorable march of age, accelerates significantly after the age of 65. What exacerbates this decline is systemic inflammation, a silent, pervasive biological process that surreptitiously erodes healthy muscle tissue even as you sleep, walk, or simply sit, often without any overt symptoms until considerable damage has occurred. In a compelling 2023 study published in the esteemed American Journal of Physiology, researchers meticulously observed a cohort of 48 adults aged over 65. Half of these participants were instructed to incorporate 150 grams of ricotta cheese into their daily diet, split between breakfast and lunch, while the control group maintained their standard protein intake. After a dedicated 12-week period, the results from the ricotta-consuming group were nothing short of astonishing. They exhibited an extraordinary 35% increase in muscle cross-sectional area, a notable 19% improvement in walking speed, and an impressive 28% boost in overall leg power. Such a profound level of physiological change within a mere 3 months, particularly in the absence of intensive structured resistance training, is almost unheard of in the realm of gerontology and nutritional science. The profound secret behind ricotta's exceptional efficacy lies in its unique mode of action within the body. Unlike casein-rich cottage cheese, which delivers proteins slowly and steadily throughout the night, ricotta's whey-derived proteins act with remarkable speed and efficiency. They rapidly flood the bloodstream with a rich cascade of amino acids, which in turn triggers a powerful hormonal response involving insulin-like growth factor 1, or IGF-1. IGF-1 is a naturally occurring anabolic hormone that plays a pivotal role in supporting muscle repair, regeneration, and growth. This rapid stimulation is particularly critical for older adults who naturally produce significantly lower levels of IGF-1. Ricotta, therefore, functions as a potent natural booster for this crucial hormone, especially when consumed within 60 minutes after engaging in any form of light physical activity, such as walking, stretching, or light household chores. Furthermore, its inherently soft, creamy texture makes it exceptionally easy to chew and swallow, rendering it an ideal dietary choice for seniors who may contend with dental issues or various digestive problems that make harder cheeses challenging to consume. But the advantages of ricotta extend even further. It is also remarkably rich in both calcium and phosphorus, two indispensable minerals presented in highly bioavailable forms that are readily absorbed by the body. These two minerals are not merely essential for maintaining optimal bone density. They are equally vital for the robust health and function of the muscles that surround and stabilize your joints. Seniors who experience calcium loss often suffer from a debilitating combination of weakened bones and weakened muscles, a perilous synergy that can more than double the risk of severe fractures following an accidental fall. A significant 2022 Italian trial underscored this point, demonstrating that seniors who consistently consumed 100 grams of ricotta daily exhibited noticeably denser muscle fibers and significantly stronger hip stability compared to those who did not, even when their total caloric intake remained constant. So how can one harness the maximum benefits from ricotta for muscle regeneration? Timing, once again, is paramount. The optimal window for consuming ricotta is strategically after any form of movement, whether it's a brisk walk, engaging in gardening, or even simply climbing stairs. This is precisely when your muscle fibers are most sensitive and receptive to protein intake, allowing the rapidly available amino acids to be immediately utilized for repair and synthesis. A simple yet effective way to incorporate it into your routine is by spreading half a cup of fresh ricotta onto whole grain toast, drizzled with a touch of olive oil and adorned with sliced tomato, or by gently mixing it into scrambled eggs for a protein-rich post-activity meal. Another delectable option is blending it into a vibrant smoothie with a ripe banana and a dollop of almond butter, creating a creamy, rich, and powerfully anabolic concoction. Always prioritize fresh, unflavored ricotta, and if feasible, opt for organic versions that are free from unnecessary preservatives. Unless your doctor has prescribed a strict fat-limiting diet, avoid low-fat ricotta. The natural fats present in full-fat ricotta are instrumental in aiding the absorption of key fat-soluble vitamins like D and K2, both of which are absolutely vital for optimal muscle and bone coordination. A common mistake seniors often make is erroneously treating ricotta as a dessert, mixing it with high-sugar accompaniments such as chocolate, cookies, or jams, and consuming it after an already sugar-laden meal. This practice can unfortunately lead to a sharp spike in insulin, redirecting the body towards fat storage rather than the desired muscle gain. Another oversight is its occasional use. ricotta yields its best results when integrated consistently into the diet, ideally 4 to 5 days a week, to maintain a steady anabolic stimulus. Furthermore, it is crucially important to maintain adequate hydration when utilizing ricotta or any significant protein source, as protein metabolism naturally increases nitrogenous waste products. Drinking sufficient water helps your kidneys efficiently process these byproducts, ensuring their continued healthy function. Allow me to share the poignant story of Robert, a 75-year-old retired taxi driver from Michigan. Robert had a history of type 2 diabetes and had experienced rapid, concerning weight loss over the past year. His arms had become visibly thinner, and he had resorted to using a cane due to frequent episodes of debilitating leg weakness. His doctor had even suggested that a wheelchair was an inevitable future. However, upon reviewing his dietary habits, we discovered that his daily protein intake barely exceeded 40 grams, and crucially, none of it was sourced from fast-acting, highly bioavailable proteins. Our immediate intervention was straightforward. We incorporated 200 grams of ricotta cheese into his lunch 5 times a week, complemented by consistent 10-minute evening walks. There were no supplements, no intense exercise regimens. After an astonishing 9 weeks, Robert no longer required his cane. He joyfully recounted how he could now walk to his local cafe and back without needing to rest. His subsequent lab results not only showed a remarkable 16% increase in lean mass, but also demonstrated significantly improved blood sugar control, a benefit likely stemming from the stabilizing effect of high-quality protein on his insulin response. "I got my legs back," he told us, his voice filled with renewed hope, "and I didn't even feel like I was dieting." It is imperative to emphasize here that ricotta is not a magical elixir capable of independent miracles. Its transformative power is realized only when synergistically paired with mild physical activity, consistent hydration, and a conscious reduction in processed sugar intake. When these elements are thoughtfully aligned, ricotta possesses the profound capacity to fundamentally change your life, offering a pathway to revitalize strength and independence. Thus concludes our comprehensive ranking of the top 3 cheeses specifically identified to rebuild muscle and powerfully combat sarcopenia, offering a beacon of hope and practical strategies for seniors seeking to reclaim their vitality. If you have diligently followed us through this detailed exploration, here are the indelible takeaways you must remember, acting as the bedrock of your renewed health journey. Parmesan, with its unique leucine concentration, functions as a powerful switch, effectively turning on the crucial muscle-building machinery even in the face of age-related hormonal shifts. Cottage cheese, armed with its slow-digesting casein protein, acts as a diligent nocturnal provider, steadily feeding your muscles a continuous stream of vital amino acids throughout the night, protecting against muscle breakdown and fostering overnight recovery. And finally, ricotta, our undisputed champion, brimming with its fast-acting, highly absorbable whey protein and protective bioactive compounds, works synergistically to revive your strength from the inside out, shielding, rebuilding, and empowering your physical being. Now, we are genuinely eager to hear from you, our engaged community. Which of these remarkable cheeses are you most inclined to try first, eager to experience its potential benefits? Have you, like many others, noticed a concerning onset of muscle weakness recently, gradually eroding your confidence and functional independence? And crucially, what dietary or lifestyle interventions have you found to be genuinely effective in your personal journey to maintain or regain strength? We warmly invite you to share your invaluable experiences, insightful opinions, and practical tips in the comments section below. Your contributions are immensely valued and contribute to a collective wisdom. If this comprehensive guide has resonated with you, providing clarity and actionable insights, please make it a point to share it widely with a loved one, a friend, or anyone in your circle who might benefit from this empowering knowledge. By simply sharing this information, you could be providing them with the vital information and inspiration needed to find their own path to renewed strength, allowing them to stand tall, confident, and independent once again. We extend our sincere gratitude for your attention and engagement throughout this illuminating discussion.